Yo, man, what to do, YouTube? It's your boy CJ Clutch, but I'm back in another video. As you can see, so look, today we got Birmingham setup queen.
When they were
Look, it's so crazy because I was recording.
The police officer at
I was supposed to be
the
recording.
scene told me to never sue the driver who crashed into me after my car accident. I took
I ain't
I was supposed to be recording, but I guess it had stopped. I don't know. Honestly, I honestly don't know. I had my Twitch stuff in instead of my YouTube. I'm mad about it. I ain't gonna cap because I just sat through 6 minutes of this video talking. Now I gotta rewatch the 6 minutes, but I'm still gonna say the same thing that I said though.
finna keep playing. Did it, I'd be in jail. Stupid. Nobody never said they was in no A, no none of that. I was just on live down here. If I did it, them phones gonna ping.
Look, this Birmingham, Alabama, where I'm from. You feel me? I'm from here, and I currently live here in Birmingham, Alabama, still. And it's so crazy. I ain't never seen this girl around. None of that.
I got 3 phones tell my direct location, where I was, where y'all know how the police play. If I somebody, they'll want these phones on all that. Stop playing with me. I ain't no Ricky to this. Oh, did, boy. How the girl still outside 45 minutes late, gonna be still sitting outside for trying to messages and see what the girl saying. Ask them what they doing. Man, somebody called that girl outside. She got all that, putting my name in it. Doing all that stuff, talking about a bando in about a project. Boy, you know how far I was? You know where I stayed at last night? Every time I go to sleep, y'all playing. I'm trying to get you, feel me? Just chill, man. Stop bringing me up on live internet. If I did something, the police will have me in handcuffs.
Birmingham police asking for your help to find whoever shot and killed this young woman, Mia Nixson, back in January.
If you did something, police probably wouldn't have you in handcuffs because you could have just did it smart. You feel me? Could have been moving smart.
Investigators say her family is hurting and pushing for justice in her case.
Our Tristan Rupert is live at 5 and on your side talking with investigators about this case. Tristan, what can you tell us?
Police believe Mia Nixson was targeted, actually, and they say community help could be critical in them solving this case. I spoke with Birmingham police officer Truman Fitzgerald earlier today. He says detectives have looked into every single lead they could really concerning this case, and that a tip from the community could be critical in really cracking it wide open. Now, Officer Fitzgerald says Nixson was beloved, talented, and really excelling in the hair and nail field.
I want to say she was an influencer, if I'm not mistaken. Like she was a hair influencer and all that. So
He says Birmingham police won't stop searching for the person responsible for her death and stresses no matter the information, you need to come forward if you know something.
Nothing's too small. We know the streets are talking. We know Mia was extremely popular, but our detectives need that information. So anything you have, please call that into Crime Stoppers.
On January 10th, 2024, 21-year-old Mia Nixson, who the streets of Birmingham, Alabama called the Setup Queen, went live on Facebook and had a very public argument with a man known as Youngster. About 30 minutes later, while she was still sitting in the driveway of her family's home, at around 1 in the morning, police received a 911 call. By the time they got to her, it was already too late. Everyone assumed it was probably the guy from that live video. But as the investigation unfolded, it became clear that Mia's case was just one thread in something far bigger than anyone expected. So why was she called a setup queen? And why was she targeted? Before we get into it, leave a like, drop your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to Crime on Pulse so you won't miss the next case. Born on October 19, 2002, Mia Chardell Nixson spent most of her life in Birmingham's Crestwood neighborhood. She was active online, talking about her life, sharing her personality, connecting with people the way a lot of young women her age did. Mia built a career as a nail technician and hairstylist and was genuinely skilled at what she did, so her clients came back and referred others. The goal she talked about openly was running her own salon one day, and she was putting in the work to get there. But there was something else people noticed around Mia. High-end items, jewelry, and photos that showed large amounts of cash.
I mean, I don't really know, but unless she had that paper because she was doing hair, like feel me, like for wigs and all that. Like they already charged like 2 or 3 or 4, however much they charge. I don't really know, but like I don't know if she was getting paid for setting niggas up and all that. I don't know about that, but I know hair. The labor ain't cheap. You feel me? So
For someone her age, building a hair and nail business from scratch, that combination raised eyebrows. The nickname that stuck to her was the Birmingham Setup Queen. The whisper around her name was that she had a habit of getting close to men and putting them in harm's way. Whether there was truth to it or not, that reputation followed her, and it became part of how people talked about her. On December 2nd, 2022, Mia was stopped at a red light. She had 2 men in the car with her, one she'd known for about a year, and his friend. While they sat at that light, the car got struck. Mia was injured, and one of the men with her didn't make it. She came out of it with lasting damage, hearing loss on her right side and vision loss in her right eye.
this type of story, this right here should just told her to just leave the street niggas alone, cause you gotta know what come with the streets, like you feel me? You gotta come with dealing with street niggas. You gotta know what that come with, like just even if I had a partner, that was in the streets and I'm just chilling with him every day, like you gotta know what come with it. You feel me? Cause niggas make it look all peaches and cream, all easy, but it ain't easy. Having to look over your shoulder every 5 seconds, having to watch all 3 mirrors. You feel me? Like driving and you like you just constantly just checking. You feel me? Like that ain't even a good way to ride around. But you gotta know what come with it. Like you gotta accept it, cause this what you chose. Do what you chose to do. You feel me? But that right this right here, fuck it, my bad. This right here, like you just gotta know what come with it. This what come with it. This what come with being in the streets. This what come with dealing with street people. I'm gonna say that this what come with dealing with street people. Because guess what? The nigga that's shooting at you, they don't care. Cause they like, okay, you on his side. You must be in the streets too. Like you feel me? You must be his partner or something. I'm finna kill you and him. I'm finna smoke both of y'all. Just cause you hanging with him. Like that I don't care. But if this is a nigga that did is overly bogus. If a nigga kill her, it's overly bogus. Facts. Cause what you killing a girl for?
Her doctors told her things could have gone much worse. What followed was months of rehabilitation, relearning how to get through basic daily tasks that most people never think twice about. A year later, on December 2nd, 2023, she went online and talked about that night.
Imagine being able to build an app with your name on it, just by thinking about it. Meet Base 40.
Okay, this is story time about how I got shot or whatever. So I was talking to this boy. We was talking for like a couple months or whatever. So he used to always be in my car, like ride around in my car. We used to always be together, riding around, stuff like that. So, this day, he told me to follow this dude so he can buy some pills. So we followed the dude so he could buy the pills, so he did nothing about the pills. It's me, him, and his homeboy in the car. So soon as we like get to the red light, we was at the red light, like all we had to do was just turn around and boom, you at the red light from where we was. So we get to the red light. He trying to put the location in my phone so we can go to where we was finna go. So it was shooting, but I didn't think that they was like shooting like at us, because while they were shooting, they were driving up. So when they were far back, it just sounded like it was somewhere else. So when the bullets started coming through the car, That's when one of the bullets, when the bullets started coming through the car, I hit the gas, but one of the bullets hit me. It went from the back of my head, through my ear, and across my face. So
Jeez. Back of the noggin. Through her ear. Through the top of her ear. Hit her eye. Jeez.
that, like, I heard a loud pop, and then, like, the ringing that you hear in your ear, that's what I heard. Like, my ear just started ringing real loud, and I just blacked out. So once I blacked out, I crashed into a tree. So when I hit the tree, I went like this, like, that's what woke, like, kind of came, let me come back to country. So I woke up, and instantly I just opened the door, and then his homeboy that was in the back seat, he jumped out, and I got out, but I instantly fell to the ground, and he was like, "Mia, get up," and I couldn't get up. Like, I don't know how long I was on the ground, like, I just was unconscious. So that's when I just hop up. So when I hop up, I open the back door, and I laid in the back seat for like 2 seconds, but then I remembered that he was in my front seat. So I jump up, and I'm looking for my phone. I'm just looking for my phone. So I find his phone, and I'm screaming his name. I'm like, I can't say his name, but like, I'm just screaming his name. I'm like, "What's your password? What's your password? I got a call. I got to call the police." I'm like, "What's your password? What's your password?" Once, like, I kept calling him, and I was trying to, like, just make sure that I was okay. So, like, that's when I'm just screaming his name. I knew, like, once he wasn't answering me, he was gone. So, like, the people from across the street, it was a store across the street, like, the people from across the street, they come over. So I'm screaming our names. I'm just trying to let them know who he was. I'm just screaming our names, screaming our names. I'm like, "Please just call my mama. Please, like, just call mama." And I'm going to do a part 2 on what else had happened that night. So.
She described how terrifying it was. She talked about the injuries, the long road back, and how much of herself she had to rebuild.
Okay, so this part 2, they put me where they put me in the ambulance truck. They put me on the bed, put me in, I'm sure, da da da. So I'm just asking them the whole time, like, am I gonna be okay? Please.
I ain't gonna cap. I don't know if the dude got shot, but sound like he checked out on impact. Like, just cause I don't even know how fast they were going. She didn't see, but sound like he just checked off or just hitting the tree. Cause if you ain't got your seatbelt on and she hit a tree, the airbag, not even just the airbag, plus you flying like that. You feel me? So it's like you moving with force and the airbag moving with force. And then I heard that the airbags hurt. I ain't never been into it. I ain't never like been into a situation where my airbag popped out on me, but I know the airbag hurt and it come with a lot of force. So just off the simple fact that he hit, just off the simple fact she hit the tree, he go like that, the airbag. So it just, you feel me? Like, it's all just force.
Just tell me, am I gonna die? I was like, am I gonna be okay? So, like, this, I was so swole, so, like, the pressure from everything was just making me, like, so sleepy. So I'm telling myself, I'm like, you can't go to sleep. You got to stay up. I'm like, you got to stay up, because I know once you go to sleep, that means, like, you're dying. Like, once you feel sleepy, that means you're dying. So, like, I'm like, I just got to stay up. So they finally rolled me in the hospital. And I just remember, like, a warm blanket coming over me, because they had cut all my clothes off, and I was just, like, completely nude. So, like, they rolled me in there, and then they just put a blanket over me. So, like, that's when I'm just going in and out of consciousness. They doing my chest like this. They just doing my chest like this. So once they started doing it, I, like, instantly just came to my senses, like, hell no, like, you got to get this shit together. Like, I'm trying to just breathe right and just do everything right so I can stay woke and stay alert.
She knows something.
So I was going in and out of CAT scans. I remember waking up in one CAT scan, but the accident happened at 8 p.m. I didn't leave the hospital till 6 a.m. the next morning. So as soon as I got rolled out of the hospital, all my family was there. Oh, now let me go back. They was stitching my ear up, and I remember screaming so loud. Like, I never been through nothing like that. I never broke no bones, never had to get stitches, anything. So they was stitching my ear up. I'm screaming because it hurted. Like, I thought they put you to sleep for stuff like that. So finally, it was time for me to get discharged, and they rolled me out the hospital. I see all my family, all my friends. Like, I just was so relieved. Like, I just knew, like, this my second chance. Like, it was just unbelievable.
Facts. Once you see, but it should change then though. It should change then once you realize what came with the streets. You feel me? Like should change then. So it, y'all know when y'all done been through some like traumatic like this. You feel me? Y'all been through something traumatic like this, and then turn around and you feel that side of relief, like boy, I got a second chance at life. Boy, you feel me? I'm finna leave all that old in the past and just going on to some new. That's what you should have did though. Even though she probably did do it, but it just came back to hunt. You feel me? She probably did. I don't know. Let's finna watch the video.
So instantly I'm asking what happened to the boy that I talked to. I'm asking like what happened to him. Is he okay? Where he at? Like I'm just asking a million questions. Nobody wanted to tell me nothing. So finally my friend, she just told me, she's like, Mia, he gone. I just instantly like broke down. Like, yeah, I instantly broke down because like nothing, I never lost nobody close to me. Like we used to be together every day, like literally eat, sleep, all that. So it was just heartbreaking. Like this, like how am I gonna adjust to life without being with him? Type stuff like that. But about my eye, it's a black thing covering my eye. Soon it will be all the way over my eye and blocking my whole vision. And my ear, the bullet bust my eardrum, so they're gonna try to do surgery or see if they can do surgery to fix it.
That case, though, was never solved. No suspect was ever named. No arrest was ever made. It just went cold. Mia continued her business, doing hair, nails, building her client base, staying active online, going out, and living. Then on October 1st, 2023, Leeds police arrested her on serious charges. Her bond was set at $40,000. For a lot of people, her posting that bond was the loudest confirmation yet that something about Mia's life didn't add up. A 21-year-old working in the beauty industry, walking out her bond without hesitation, fed the speculation and deepened the questions. She kept showing up in Birmingham's nightlife scene, still carrying the same energy she always had.
So that's when somebody knew that someone's wrong. You feel me? Because they like ain't no way you got 40,000. You got 40,000 at just the age of 21. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. It's a lot of people out here with that type of money. You feel me? But they looking at it like she low key rich type. You feel me?
In the early hours of January 10th, 2024, Mia went on Facebook Live. A man who went by Youngster joined the broadcast, and a heated argument broke out between them.
On Newcomb ain't. I ain't finna say nothing else about her. But it's other going on with that little situation. Stop playing with me like that. Ain't no way this girl still in the car. 45 minutes after alive, 30 minutes after alive. So you think this girl just sitting outside? You think she just sitting outside in the car?
You saying she finna be outside her car waiting on us to pull up?
That's what I'm saying.
This girl got shot outside her
outside the car. And it went that many shots or nothing. That's what's up close, little personal. Somebody made that girl come back outside, man. Stop playing me like y'all dumb. I knew that girl had a champion. Stop playing on me. Do nothing to that girl. I don't even know what this girl saying. And the stupid talking on that, he just making up. Everything he said, he just making up. I don't know. That boy said, hey, twin. That boy said a bando by Gay City. What?
He said what?
We was in the bando by Gay City when we was on live this morning. But you know where we was? Man, you know what we was? Man, stop playing on me, man.
Bring the towers out.
That's what I'm saying.
Tower with the phones.
Tower with the phone, man.
Tower with the phones.
Tower with the phones, man.
Out of the phones. Oh yeah, you know.
Bro,
I don't care. When somebody recommends something, you know they ain't do it. You know they ain't do it. Somebody recommends something, you know they ain't do it. Cause you know how like You know how like say for instance a person try to accuse you of snitching. I mean not snitching, of stealing, and then they like you can check my pockets. You can check my pockets. You feel me? They ain't even got nothing in my pockets. You feel me? Like they when they doing that, be like check my pockets. Check my pockets. And you know they ain't got it. They when they recommend you to check my pockets, you know they ain't got it.
Ever said once I was in Atlanta? What I'm talking about? When I said I was in Atlanta? Who else heard me say I was in the A? Who else heard me say I was in the A? No fake page comment on blood. Somebody that was on the line, who heard me say I was in? Well, I never once said I was in no Atlanta.
Now, these two weren't strangers. They ran in overlapping circles, and both were regulars in Birmingham's club scene. They had a social media presence built around the same kind of lifestyle: the parties, outings, and photos. Two people who understood the same streets, the same world, the same unwritten rules. The argument that played out on that live centered around accusations, specifically that Mia
And you can tell he a street nigga. You feel me? You can instantly tell he a street nigga. Just off how he act, like just his body language and all that. And the nigga in the back talking about on blood and all that. Like that niggas don't even be blood talking about on blood.
had played a role in putting people in dangerous situations. That exchange was intense. After the broadcast ended, Mia stayed in her car, parked in the driveway of her family's home on the 800 block of Greencrest Turn in Crestwood. At around 1:45 in the morning, East Precinct officers were sent to a call of a person struck by gunfire at the 800 block of Greencrest Turn.
Birmingham police asking for your help to find whoever shot and killed this young woman, Mia Nixson, back in January. Investigators say her family is hurting and pushing for justice in her case.
Our Tristan Rupert is live at 5 and on your side, talking with investigators about this case. Tristan, what can you tell us?
Police believe Mia Nixon was targeted, actually, and they say community help could be critical in them solving this case. I spoke with Birmingham police officer Truman Fitzgerald earlier today. He says detectives have looked into every single lead.
I feel like he was targeted too, just cause, of the simple fact that that nigga in the live was talking about, that was up close and personal. What? Like, what? Talking about they was outside her car. I mean, she something about outside her car. It was up close and personal. Something about that. I couldn't even understand what he was saying for real because he was yelling. But he definitely said something about up close and personal. I know that for sure.
They could really concerning this case, and that a tip from the community could be critical in really cracking it wide open. Now, Officer Fitzgerald says Nixon was beloved, talented, and really excelling in the hair and nail field. He says Birmingham police won't stop searching for the person responsible for her death, and stresses no matter the information, you need to come forward if you know something.
Nothing's too small. We know the streets are talking. We know Mia was extremely popular, but our detectives need that information. So anything you have, please call that into Crime Stoppers.
Remember, Crime Stoppers is a fully anonymous process. No matter what your information is, they never know your identity. And if you do provide information that leads to an arrest in this case, you could be eligible for a $5,000 reward.
That's roughly a 30-minute window from when the Facebook Live ended to when police got that call. When officers arrived, they found Mia inside the car, unresponsive, with severe injuries. Birmingham Fire and Rescue responded and pronounced her gone at the scene. Other residents inside the home were unharmed. Whoever was responsible.
Oh yeah, she was definitely targeted. If they just got her and ain't get nobody else, she was definitely targeted. Cause no way you just outside, see somebody, get the blowing. Well, see her in the car, get the blowing, and then turn around and dip. She was definitely targeted. Cause that means he ain't want nothing but her. You feel me?
had already left. No witnesses came forward, and no obvious physical evidence was recovered at the scene. Investigators made clear from the start that this was not random. Mia had been targeted. Before police had released much to the public, Youngster was already saying that he had nothing to do with it. The next day, January 11th, he posted again. He wrote that people would do anything to paint someone as the villain, and that he was done talking about it. He made clear he'd never been the type to put his hands on women or children. He said he stood on what was real, and that the truth would come out. He was never formally identified as a suspect. But because the entire argument had happened on a public broadcast, the internet had already decided who they thought was responsible. He was out there defending himself, even though no one in law enforcement had pointed at him. Meanwhile, speculation swirled online. There were reports of messages Mia received just minutes before she was found at 1:45. The timing added to theories that this had been coordinated. Everyone was convinced they knew who did it. The Facebook Live, the argument, the immediate response online, all seemed to point in one direction. Birmingham police made public appeals and asked the community to come forward with any information, no matter how small.
We know the streets are talking. We know Mia was extremely popular, but our detectives need that information. So anything you have, please call that into Crime Stoppers.
A $5,000 reward was announced for a tip that led to an arrest. Months passed with nothing. Then, on February 25th, 2025, over a year after Mia's passing, the Birmingham Police Department announced they had obtained a warrant, and a suspect had been charged. The name wasn't Youngster.
United States Secret Service, Jefferson County Sheriff's Office, and Crime Stoppers for their invaluable collaboration throughout this investigation. Additionally, Damian McDaniel is charged with intentional murder in the death of Mia Nixson. She was shot and killed on January the 10th, 2024, outside of her home in the 800 block of Crest Green.
22-year-old Damian McDaniel.
He overly bogus, and it's so crazy because that ain't even just the only person he done knocked off. I think this boy got like 20 some bodies. I think he got about 20 some bodies. He going through something mentally. He look crazy. This is like he looking like, you feel me?
He was already in state custody when the charge came through, and he was held without bond. Damian's history was troubling. His father had been serving a federal sentence since 2013, with 26 years on his name. Growing up, Damian attended Fairfield High Preparatory School. In October 2019, when he was 17, he was arrested on school grounds after 2 people were hurt. In April 2023, he pleaded guilty to both counts and received a 15-year sentence. Though it was structured as 2 years to serve, the rest was suspended, followed by 3 years of probation, which wasn't revoked until December 12, 2024. By the time his name came out in connection with Mia's case, investigators had found something far larger underneath. Damian wasn't just connected to Mia's case. The Jefferson County District Attorney's Office was working through 8 separate cases against him, spanning 14 months. From July 2023
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, just all on this one person. That boy got some issues. like I was saying, boy, overly bogus. Then I ain't just that, but they not even far apart. Look at this, January. Then turn around April. Then turn around July. Like this just 24. This just right. This just right here 24. 3, 4, 4 bodies. 24. I mean, 4 bodies in the year 24. My bad.
To September 2024. As more information surfaced, the scope widened. Authorities connected him to incidents that left approximately 18 people gone and around 30 more injured.
Around 30 more injured, and he just got how many years he said? How many years they said? He didn't get life? What?
Some of these attacks were
So you telling me 18 people gone, 30 over 30 injured. What are they doing? What are they doing? What are they doing? Like, it's crazy.
being investigated as potentially coordinated, with indications that certain incidents may have been paid arrangements. Among the victims connected to his cases were a Birmingham firefighter
Then she talking about may have been paid arrangements. Boy, you know he was getting paid for that. No way he just going around knocking people off.
named Jordan Melton, who had been subpoenaed to testify in an unrelated trial before he lost his life in July 2023. A young couple, Angelia Webster and Chris Norris, who were expecting a baby boy they were
Hold on real quick.
going to name 7. All 3 of them lost their lives on Valentine's Day, 2024. A UPS worker
3 people lost their life on Valentine's Day. This boy here just going around just smoking people left and right. You get them. You get them. You get them.
named Anthony Love Jr., who had given nearly 20 years to that company, was targeted in a parking lot after his shift. A mass casualty event at an unlicensed lounge in July 2024 that left 4 people gone and 10 others hurt. The victims were 56-year-old Angela Weatherspoon, 42-year-old Markeisha Gettings, 39-year-old Stevie McGee, and 24-year-old Larandis Anderson. A 61-year-old man named Charlie Moore, found by officers who had initially responded to an unrelated call nearby. And in just 2 days in September 2024, a woman found fatally injured inside a bar, followed by a mass incident at the popular 5 Points South nightlife district that claimed 4 more lives and injured 17 others. The victims were 21-year-old Anitra Holloman, 27-year-old Taj Booker, 27-year-old Carlos McCain, and 26-year-old Roderick Lynn Patterson Jr. They were standing outside Hush Lounge when the perpetrators pulled up in a vehicle, opened fire, and drove off. Over 100 shell casings were recovered at the scene.
The man charged in the 5 Points South mass shooting and 2 other deadly shootings in Birmingham now faces even more charges, including the mass shooting in July and another homicide in August. Here's a look at the timeline of these crimes. According to Birmingham police, 22-year-old Damian McDaniel of Bessemer is responsible for over 30% of the city's homicides from July.
Boy, no way. No way. One person can do all this damage to a city. No way. Like, yeah, Birmingham's small, but it's just a simple fact of 18 people gone. Plus over 30 injured. What? Like,
July to September.
Between July and September, Damian McDaniel is charged in 5 separate shootings. Altogether, he's accused of killing 11 people and injuring 29 others. He's accused of killing 11 people and injuring 29
The boy got 11 bodies, 29 attempts.
others.
I feel like people like that need to be put away.
The deadly streak of crimes he's accused of started July 13th. It was at a venue ABC 3340 later discovered was unlicensed.
It's all right to make $1.
Don't buy that camera that's going viral to keep burglars away. Do this instead. For only $22 a month, I got a
But why should you make $1? You killing the neighborhood. This is my neighborhood.
The aftermath, blood on the streets, and anger and sadness in the community.
It's a shame. We got women dead now.
4 people were killed, 10 others were injured at that birthday party event.
Angie, I love you. Monique, my heart goes out to you. This sad.
According to police, McDaniel didn't act alone in this deadly mass shooting. 27-year-old Hatarius Woods was also indicted in this case.
Birmingham is most definitely a safer place with these individuals behind bars.
McDaniel was also indicted for capital murder again and burglary for an incident that happened a month later. Woods is also charged in that case. It involved a stolen vehicle, a man killed in an apartment, officers firing shots at the suspect, and a chase.
Very chaotic scene.
McDaniel is also accused of killing a 35-year-old woman. Police didn't believe she was the intended target when she was shot inside 604 bar on September 19th.
We are very deeply saddened by what happened.
A few days later, 100 shots rang out on a Saturday night in 5 Points South, a popular nightlife spot.
So probably about 5 or 6 that went out on the stretcher that I saw. I'm sure it was probably more.
4 people were killed. 17 others were injured.
I had to get out of there, so I was hopping on one leg.
Less than 24 hours later, dozens of rounds went off in Eastlake, killing a man and injuring 2 others. McDaniel has already had his first court appearance for that. 4 others were also charged in connection to that incident. As for the motive behind all these deadly shootings McDaniel is accused of, police aren't laying that out on the table yet.
We most certainly are investigating some of these homicides as actual paid-for-hire murders.
Court records show McDaniel pleaded guilty to 2 cases of attempted murder in 2023, receiving a sentence of 15 years split, 2 years to serve, with 3 years on probation. We've reached out to the DA's office asking about McDaniel's release and what, if anything, will be done in the future to keep violent offenders behind bars.
As far as them walking the streets and all of the evidence appears that they did it, then no good.
McDaniel remains in the Jefferson County Jail with no bond.
I feel safer for the community and especially the youth.
Authorities said Damien and his associates were responsible for more than 30% of the city's violent incidents during that 14-month span. Nearly 50 families were impacted. Notably, Damien had appeared in a documentary earlier in 2024 titled The Most Dangerous Place in Alabama, where he spoke openly about violence in Birmingham and the mindset behind it.
Gonna do the same thing to you, so why not do it to them? Why show them compassion when they ain't gonna show your folks no compassion?
I mean, I feel you coming from. I definitely feel you coming from. It's just they gon' they gonna smoke you and not think about your folks. So why not smoke them and not think about they folks? I feel that, but at the end of the day, bro, you killing. What these folks did to you? For one, what these folks did to you? And I want to know how much money you're getting paid to do all this. Because this ain't even this. What I just looked at, bro, you had bodies that was close. Like, you feel me? Like a month later, 2 months later. But you ain't even got a chance to even wrap your conscience around the first one yet. And you going back, catching another one. You must like this feeling. You must like that feeling.
Saying he spam. For wait, they ain't gonna spare me. Get wait, when if they son end up dead and they come to court, they ain't gonna spare me in the courtroom. Hey, I know they gonna
When the arrest was announced, Birmingham's interim police chief made it clear the investigation was not finished. He stated publicly that the case doesn't stop just because someone has been charged or indicted, and that every lead was still being followed.
Some more complex type of investigations, if you will. So we're continuing to investigate that. But you could look at the possibility of conspiracy to commit murder. They can also be charged with the murder as well, in some form of conspiracy. So we are pursuing that. It's still an ongoing investigation.
There were indications that additional victims could still be linked to Damien as the work continued. Mayor Woodfin addressed the victims directly, stating that Anthony Love Jr. did not deserve to lose his life at his place of work, and that Mia Nixson did not deserve to lose her life simply by being at home.
Good morning, everyone, and I want to start by thanking Chief Michael Pickett, as well as Deputy Chief Brown of the Birmingham Police Department Investigation Bureau. I think one of the main responsibilities I have as mayor is to make sure I can provide our police department with the available resources they need to do their job. In this case, nothing's more important for our detectives having every single resource made available to them. What's happened over the last year and a half has been horrific, with one person causing so much pain in our community and taking away loved ones of families. Jordan Melton, Anthony Love Jr., and Mia Nixon. You add on the fact that Jamal Jones' life was changed as well in the most dramatic way possible. I want to extend my heartfelt appreciation for Chief Pickett, for all the detectives, and Deputy Chief Brown for not letting up, for keeping their foot all the way down on the gas pedal and doing everything they can to bring justice to these families. I have spent countless amount of time with Miss Rochelle, Jordan's mother, Mr. Melton, his father, and their extended family. I have Chief Moon standing here. This ripped through the fire rescue service like no other thing has happened since my time as mayor. It was important to bring justice, not just to this family, but to let our firefighters know that we have their back and front, and we were not going to rest until this person was held accountable and brought to justice. But Anthony Love Jr. did not deserve to die at his place of work either, and Mia Nixon didn't deserve to die simply by being at home. And Jamal Jones didn't deserve to be assaulted the way he was as well, being at his place of work. My message is very simple. To all of these victims, families, we are still in lockstep with you, not just through our prayers and thoughts, but through bringing justice. But my message is also to all those other families out there who have lost a loved one. Our detectives continue to be locked in, literally looking under every rock to bring justice and bring formal charges for those who have taken other loved ones as well in the city. As Chief Pickett said, I want to thank all the partners who made this day happen. And as mayor, we'll continue to do everything we can to make the city safer. Thank you.
On April 29th, 2025, the state filed notice that they were seeking the maximum penalty in cases where Alabama law allowed it.
Continuing coverage tonight, it's been 19 months since 2 Birmingham firefighters were shot at Fire Station 9 in Norwood.
Interim Birmingham Police Chief Michael Pickett announced today the arrest of 22-year-old Damian McDaniel in that shooting. McDaniel's been charged with capital murder and the death of Jordan Melton and attempted murder in the shooting of Jamal Jones. McDaniel has already been charged in 2 mass shootings, and now police say he's charged in additional homicides. The death of Mia Nixon in January.
What you doing smoking firefighters though, bro? What they did?
January of 2024, and the murder for hire death of a UPS worker, Anthony Love Jr., on April 9th.
Now, new tonight, we are learning more about the legal road ahead for Damian McDaniel. CBS 42's Scott Minshaw joins us now live. You spoke with both defense and the prosecution in McDaniel's case today. Scott, what's next for this case?
Do not pay your car insurance bill. I repeat, do not pay your bill yet. So I found this website and look.
Well, Carly, the next thing will be the arraignments for those 3 new murder charges announced today. That brings the total up to 14 murders that McDaniel is accused of. His attorney tells me that he plans to plead not guilty to all of them. John Robbins is lead counsel for accused mass shooter Damian McDaniel.
Everybody is entitled to a fair trial and a vigorous defense.
McDaniel is accused of murdering 14 people and committing 2 mass shootings in Birmingham, which is why District Attorney Danny Carr is pursuing the death penalty. Are you seeking the death penalty in this case?
Yes, yes.
During Tuesday's City Council meeting, Birmingham City Councilor Hunter Williams commented on the new charges.
To me, you're a terrorist, and I hope that wherever court this goes, that they seek the death penalty.
Robbins says there has been no evidence presented to support the charges against his client. But Carr says that evidence is coming.
We technically hadn't had a trial yet, so we'll see when the trial comes.
We will do our own independent investigation, but we will review and see what the state believes they have, and we will build our defense that way.
Carr says the timeline of when these cases could go to trial is still unclear.
Most of these cases will probably be tried separate, but at the end of the day, a lot of that will go to the strategy of what the rules of evidence will allow, what the rules of criminal procedure will allow as it relates to which case get tried first. Are they tried together? Are they all relevant? Are they not relevant? Those are matters that we'll decide in court at some point later on.
Well, the community, the people of Birmingham, the people of this state, the people of our country, okay, needs to take a step back and let the judicial system handle this in court.
Damian was brought from state prison to Jefferson County for arraignment on charges connected to Mia's case, Jordan Melton's case, and Anthony Love's case. He entered a not guilty plea on all counts. His attorney maintained his client's innocence throughout, suggesting that no evidence had yet been presented in court to support the allegations, and that the defense would conduct its own investigation and build their case accordingly.
That we can't get a jury that doesn't know a whole lot about this case.
And that the information that they've learned might be biased. Because it clearly doesn't include the defendant's point of view.
During Tuesday's motion hearing, Damian McDaniel's attorney raised concerns about finding a fair and impartial jury in Jefferson County. They say they're considering filing a motion to change the venue, but first they have a jury expert polling the county. The state argued a second step is needed to determine the length and depth of the potential jurors' relationships with victims and their families. The judge says she wants a fair and impartial jury, but it will get to a point that the city is empty trying to find 12 people who do not know any victim or family members at all.
It's going to be hard to find jurors that don't know one of the alleged victims in a multitude of cases. And as you could see, everybody that was here today following this, their family members on other cases, not trendsetter cases.
Before McDaniel's hearing got underway, there was an issue in the audience the Jefferson County Sheriff's Office had to break up. According to McDaniel's attorneys, McDaniel's mother was threatened in the courtroom.
Damian's mother and family continued.
Well, of course they're going to be threatened in the courtroom. You think they're going to be safe after your actions? You think they're supposed to not say nothing about it after your actions? Of course they're gonna say anything to you to get to you, make you mad. They can't punch on you. They can't do what they really want to do. So they just gonna, you feel me? They just gonna rage bait you a little bit. They just want you to hurt. They want you to hurt because that not even just want you to hurt. They want you to hurt because of the fact that they suffer. You got them suffering. If it weren't for you, then they folks would still be here. Type. You feel me?
Receive threats. Okay, that nobody reports about that. Shame that nobody cares. The law enforcement knows about it. They don't do anything.
This case is highly emotional, but we want to make sure that everybody here is engaging in respectful conduct. Please, there are a lot of law enforcement officers here. There is a lot of security here. Please don't make me have to use any of them to escort anybody out of here or to hold anybody in contempt of court.
With 8 separate prosecutions underway, and each likely to be tried independently, the legal process still has a long road ahead. For Mia's family, the arrest gave them something, but it also deepened the questions they were already carrying. Why was she targeted? What was the actual connection between her and Damien? Was it tied to her street reputation, to the Facebook Live argument, or to something else entirely? There's still no trial date set specifically for her case. It remains part of a much larger legal web that Birmingham authorities are still working through. Mia was 21. Jordan Melton was a firefighter, just doing his job. Anthony Love had given 20 years of his life to a company. Angelia and Chris were picking out baby names. 18 people lost their lives. 30 more were injured. And for a long time, one name was behind a significant portion of that pain, while Birmingham had no idea. The world keeps spinning, and so does crime. Stay observant.
Then he the type of nigga that look like he type of nigga to kill her. He killed her probably because he didn't want to talk. She didn't want to talk to him or something like that. You feel me? Like it be petty like that, especially down here in Birmingham, bro. But man, I don't even want to talk about that shit no more. That shit bogus as hell. He bogus. He bogus for sure. Want to kill all these folks. I want to know how much hate they had on their head, killing firefighters and like, come on, bro, killing UPS workers and something, bro, man, bro. Out here, bro. Ain't y'all like